welcome to another ranking video. Tonight I will be counting down my picks for the top 10 daytime soap operas. Now, there are only 4 soap operas that are still active and running today. They are General Hospital, The Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, and Days of Our Lives. That's it. All other soap operas eventually just ended. So a lot of these on this list are no longer available to watch. But let's see if any of your favorites are on my list. So let's get started on this list with my number 10, which is One Life to Live, which ran from 1968 to 2012 on ABC. And this one kind of continued for an additional year to 2013 on iTunes and Hulu, but it eventually got canceled on there as well. Now, One Life to Live was a fine soap opera, and it had some interesting characters and interesting little storylines that were going on throughout its long run. And it's just hard not to respect such a long-running soap. And, you know, even those who haven't seen it, and I didn't see it much, you know about it because of how legendary it became. So, couldn't do a list without One Life to Live. All right, so coming in at number 9, we have Search for Tomorrow, which ran from 1951 to 1986 on CBS initially up until 1982, and then it went to NBC from the rest of its run. Now, Search for Tomorrow is much like One Life to Live. It is very legendary as far as its status as one of the early soaps and everything. It is a very, very well-made soap opera. Even from the beginning in the early years, it was a very well-made soap opera. It is a testament to how well that series was that it lasted from 51 all the way to 1986. But it is a lot like One Life to Live. I didn't watch it a lot back in the day, but I have to respect what impact it made on soaps. So that's why it makes my list at number 9. All right, so coming in at number 8, we have The Edge of Night, which ran from 1956 to 1984. And it was on CBS until 1975, and then it moved over to ABC for the rest of its run. Now, I don't know why soaps do that, or even series sometimes do that. They did that with T.J. Hooker as well. But, you know, I guess the series, you know, the original network with CBS just gave up on. Luckily, ABC picked it up and continued it forward for another good almost 10 years there. So, but it was a very interesting and really nice soap opera. I didn't see it much in the early years of it. When I saw it was during the 80s, but it always had these really, really interesting little storylines in it. One of them with Willie Ames, who would go on to play Scott Baio's best friend in Charles in Charge, was a villain on Edge of Night, and he was excellent in that role. So that's why this one makes my list at number 8, because I really did enjoy some of the storylines that they had going on in this one. All right, so let's move on to number 7, and my number 7 is The Guiding Light, which ran from 1952 to 2009 on CBS. And this was basically the longest running soap opera of all time if you're counting the radio, because a lot of these other ones weren't on the radio, but The Guiding Light was. It was on radio all the way back in 1937. And then when TV became a big thing, it became an actual live TV show. The Guiding Light, I watched it a few times during my younger years and everything, and I thought it was okay. I think it was a little bit better. That's why I put it higher. I think it was a little better than Search for Tomorrow and One Life to Live. It just had a little bit better little storylines, and I think the characters in the series was pretty damn good, and that's why it lasted as long as it did, in my opinion. But really great show, and it's a shame that they ended up ending it the way they did. Otherwise, it could still have the record of being the longest running soap opera ever. All right, so coming in at number 6, we have As the World Turns, which ran from 1956 to 2010 on CBS. Now, As the World Turns, this is, one of the most iconic soap operas of all time. And like I said with some of these others, I didn't watch this one as much, but what I saw of it, I kind of, liked some of the storylines that they did in this one. Very well done. It had some good characters and some really cool actors that appeared throughout its run. And it's definitely needed to have a place on this list because of how legendary this soap is and everything. So that's why it makes my list at number 6. Coming in at number 5, we have General Hospital, which ran from 1963 and is still running today on ABC. Now, wow. Now, this one is technically the longest running soap opera still running today. But, like I said, it could have been easily beaten by The Guiding Light if they would have just kept it going. But they ended it too soon, in my opinion. General Hospital was very similar to some of these others on this list, and had a very good couple of villains that turned up on it. And I watched it because of some of the storylines with those villains. The villains were always the most interesting characters to me in some of these soaps, and General Hospital was no exception. So that's why this one makes my list at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have All My Children, which ran from 1970 to 2011 on ABC. And this one, it made Susan Lucci a big, big name as far as soaps go. And she won numerous Emmys for this, and many other people in this show, because that was how legendary All My Children was. And of course, All My Children also gave us the early start to Sarah Michelle Gellar. So, it is an iconic soap. It just really sucks that some of these, they didn't keep them running. Because it'd be cool to talk about them right now and still say that they're still present and accountable. So far, we've only had one of them on this one with General Hospital. All right. So that's about to change because my number 3 is The Young and the Restless, which ran from 1973 to present on CBS. And The Young and the Restless is one that I didn't watch a lot of, but I really love the villain in it, or at least he started off a villain in it with Eric Braeden. And he you know, I've always liked Eric Braeden as an actor, as many of you who watch this channel know. And this character just is great, and he's still playing this character to this day. He's not so much a villain anymore, apparently, but, you know, he started off this really badass villain in this series, and it just, you know, it's iconic because of him, and I believe he's won numerous Emmys as well for his role. So definitely an iconic soap, and it definitely deserves to still be running to this day. All right, so coming in at number 2, we have Another World, which ran from 1964 to 1999 on NBC. Now this one I always watched after another soap opera. It was always interesting with the storylines and the plots in it. And I don't know what it is about this one, but it holds a special place in my heart. It's no longer running to this day, unfortunately. But it was a pretty interesting. I think what happened with it was they started to run out of storylines. They had done stuff in it, and they were just getting stale, was what it was. And it started to feel that way, I think, as I watched it, where they were running out of ideas. It's unfortunate because, I mean, if you're doing soaps, you better have plenty of ideas to come up with. Yeah, Another World was very, very interesting and really good soap that I really enjoyed growing up and watched it quite a bit. All right, so coming in at number 1, we have Days of Our Lives, which ran from 1965, and it's still running at present. However, there's a little caveat on Days of Our Lives because it did kind of get canceled on NBC where it aired all these years. I think it was 2023, I believe, was when it got canceled on the networks. And it's still running, though, to this day, though, on Peacock. And Days of Our Lives, this was the soap that I would watch the most on TV. I really got into the characters in this one. I think this is one of the better written soap operas, and I absolutely loved a couple of the villains in here, namely the Stefano DiMera villain, as played by the late, great Joseph Mascolo. This is just an iconic soap opera that was great from the beginning with McDonald Carey and Francis Reed, and it just continued forward, getting so many good, talented people in it, from Deidre Hall to so many more talented people in this one. Some of them are no longer with us now as well, just like Joseph Mascolo. But man, this was my favorite soap opera of all time. But what do you think of my list? Do you agree with my list or do you disagree? I know some of you might ask, why did I not put Bold and the Beautiful on this? Well, I was never a big fan of Bold and the Beautiful, unfortunately. So I know it's still running to this day, like I said at the beginning, but it's not my thing. I didn't ever like it. But what do you guys think of my list? Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below what you would put down as your list for the top 10 daytime soaps. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this ranking video, and if you did, do not forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can request a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing. And when that video goes up, it will go up for all Plus members prior to it going up for all of their subscribers. So if you want to get interactive and help me to get more movies, TV series, or ranking videos on this channel that I might not normally cover, become a Plus member.
And if you missed last month's ranking video, check out the link above. And if you missed any of our other ranking videos, check out this playlist and get caught up.